Yeah. From this note, I'm going to give a demonstration about the wet and dry rub test. And here we are going to determine about fabric bleeding, if acceptable or not acceptable. As you can see on the left side of this explanation, there is a scale. On the left side of the explanation, there is a scale, and this scale is, we use this scale to determine if the bleeding level is acceptable or not acceptable. As you can see here, it starts from 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. And 4, 5 is the best, is acceptable. And if you go right down, if it is bleeding to this extent, of course it's not acceptable. It's rejected. The fabric should be rejected. Even 1, 2 also is not acceptable. And 2 and 5, depending, 2 or 2 to 3, depending if you are doing it wet rub test or dry rub test. If it is wet rub test, 2 is acceptable. But if you are doing it dry rub test, 2 is not acceptable. So this have to be understood about these 2 areas. And 3, 4, 4, 5, this is acceptable, always acceptable. So this is a machine here. This is a machine here. And this machine we use to do the test, to carry out this test, what has been explained there on the top. And how we use this machine, as you can see here, we have a counter here. On top here we have a counter. This counter, you will have to put it at 0 before you start to do your test, and this will only guide you to, it will guide you to make the rubbing, to count how much turn you will have to do when you do your rub test. So how it goes? Here, this is where you will have to clamp the white fabric, the cream fabric. Now this clamp, we use it to put this cream fabric, which we will use to check if the fabric test we are testing is bleeding or not. This is special fabric made for the rub test. And this fabric, we clamp it here. You have to clamp it on top here, this way. You put the clamp there. Make sure that it's safe, it doesn't come out this way. As you can see, it should be clamped on top here, this fabric. And the fabric that we will need to test, I take an example as this one. This is a, you have, it's a white fabric, but there is a black print on it. So here, this type of fabric, we can check, do this test. Why? To make sure that the black color does not bleed on the white color, which will spoil the fabric, of course. So how we put it, place it on the machine? You have to remove this clamp first. You have to remove it, and you place your fabric here. Always place it one layer. As you can see that we have placed sandpaper here, and this sandpaper, why we put it here? To hold the fabric, to prevent the fabric from moving. If you don't put this sandpaper on the machine, of course this part here is sleepy. When you will do your rub test, you will not be able to do it properly, and you will not get an accurate reading. the fabric will be moving, and of course your test, you will get a wrong result. The result will not be accurate. So make sure your fabric is placed this way, and then you put this metal bone here like this. So now this is how you have to place your fabric on this machine before you start your test. So your fabric to be tested is here at the bottom, and the fabric that will identify, will confirm about the bleeding. If the fabric is bleeding, the white fabric is on top here. Then you lay the rubbing bar down. You lay it down here. Once you lay it down here, put your counter here at 0. You start to make 10 rounds. So it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So on the 10 you stop. If in case you forget counting, your counter here will indicate you how many turns you have made. So this, if you make the test like this, it is a dry test. This one is called a dry test. You return the rubbing bar on this place like this. Now why we use this machine? Because you know, if I do a rub test with my hand and someone else do the rub test with, with his hand, that the force that we will put on the fabric when doing the rubbing will not be the same. But here you have a standard weight, and this weight, no one is holding it. It is the same, it will not change. If I do use this machine, another one come and use the machine, we will get the same result. But if you do the rub test by hand, then I will press to do the rub test, another one will press to do the rub test. It will not be the same. The way that we are applying on the testing fabric is not the same, but here it will be always the same. That is why we use this rub test machine. So now, after doing the 10 round, we remove the white fabric from top here. You remove it and you cross check it here. If the fabric is bleeding, it will appear here, and this is very good fabric. There's nothing bleeding, there's nothing coming out. And then we use this fabric to compare. We compare it with the grading scale, which is very good one. If I compare it, is 3 or 4, 3 to 4 or 4, and this is a very good fabric. Now the same thing we will do wet test. Wet test is carried out. We wet this fabric and we clamp it at the same place. Yeah. This is called wet test. We do the test the same way, same like before, and we will cross check the difference between dry test and wet test. So we return it back to 0. It turn your counter to 0. Right. Seven, 8, 9. So now it's 0, and we make what test now. Then wrong, and we check again. See the result. No bleeding at all. So this fabric is okay, a good fabric. Thank you for your attention.